A word from a mentee. Today I have an interesting guest. One of my favorite mentees, the awesome Abba Jesse Ziwa. Say hello. This is your camera.
Hello everyone. My name is Abba Jesse Ziwa. And I'm so honored to be on this program because when Mr. Kutesa called me, actually I didn't even know what I was going to do. Then, because I was at church, and then when he called me, he asked me what I'm doing. Then I told him I'm in team time. Then he told me that when you're done, you get back to me. So I told them that I had to be somewhere. So then I first went home. Then I called my mom and I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? Then she was like, you might have, okay, like maybe you're going to say something in a video, something like that. So I wasn't still sure. So then I called Mr. Kutesa and he was like, okay, I thought he was going to explain, but he said, get aboard and come. Offices are. And I was like, yes. Then he said, get aboard and come.
Excellent.
So, yes.
So that's how you landed here.
Yes.
How long have we been together? When did you join the boys mentorship?
I think I joined, okay, I know that I joined the bootcamp in 2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
When you were 15?
December, yes.
When were he was 15?
I was at my auntie's place actually during lockdown, and then my mom calls me. Okay, like she called my auntie, and she was like, ask Abba if he wants to go for camp. Then, me not knowing that something like bootcamp exists, the only camp that I knew was this camp of like,
Scouts.
you go to like, maybe,
Church.
no, like, okay, some place that has like big trees and all that, you just be there, like campfires and all that. So then I was like, yes, mommy, I want to go.
You just accepted.
Yes. So, she came. I don't remember when she took me, but then we reached there. And I was actually very excited. Yeah.
Everything's gonna be cool.
Then I remember we reached like at 8
Yeah.
9.
Ginger.
Yes. So we reached there. So I was expecting to find like comfortable seats, sit on the floor. I remember I had a headache. Then at first in my head I was like, but how do you make a seat on the floor?
Oh yes.
So then the following day, thought we were going to wake up like at 6,
7.
or 7. But by 4, it's time to wake up. I remember we slept in. I remember we had to like have a specific attire that we were putting on, and then some guys came when they're not in that, and then they were like, why are you dressed like this? Hey, go down, do like 5 press-ups or something like that, and go back and change. I started getting scared and I was like, am I going to manage? Then I remember we ran up a long hill. Okay, it wasn't necessarily going up like this, but it was like winding. So we ran, then we reached at the top, and then they told us to like lay down. They told us if you want to catch up with your sleep on the floor. Because me, I thought like the whole idea of camp is we're going to go have like competitions, tug of war, football, those things.
Swimming.
So I thought we were going to have like tug of war, swimming, like serious competitions. But only to find out that, okay, I remember I went with my bag. I liked that bag, and I remember my mama just bought it, and then they were like, remove everything, bring your bag here. So I thought they were going to put over what? Only to see that they are putting stones. Then in my heart I was like, but my bag. So I felt like saying, can I at least get something else? But then I had seen how some other guys were like, who are trying to do change. Or
Now I want to ask you, what was the most important lesson you learned on day 2 of the bootcamp? Okay, generally, you might not know the day, but generally.
Generally, what's the part? Okay, the thing that stands out for me is endurance.
Very good. Tell us about endurance.
So, endurance is being able to withstand any condition, not these good ones, the hard ones. One of the hardest tasks that they gave us was to carry those bags. Like, they had stones in them. I remember, I think I had a kilogram or even more.
No, they were 4 kilograms. Of course,
Yeah,
you
they were
cannot
four-
carry 1
four-
kilogram. Those are stones.
At first, okay, like we put the bags in our backs. We first started with walking, and then later they were like, start running.
When you're carrying this 5 kilograms
Yes.
on your back.
So,
So how did that teach you?
Okay, it taught me that, okay, at first, I thought it was easy because it's just running until they told us to crawl.
Okay.
And then I was like, you're crawling on stones
Yes.
and you're carrying stones
Yeah, yeah.
in your bag.
Yeah.
So that was actually very hard.
Great.
So I felt like I'm too tired
Yeah.
to continue. But then I had kept on seeing these other guys
Yes.
who were saying, I'm tired, I'm thirsty,
Very
how
good.
they were being treated.
Very
and I was
good.
like, let me just push on.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You learned endurance.
Yes, I
So
learned endurance.
how have you been able to apply it in your day-to-day life?
so it
Have
made
you
me to-
ever gone through a tough situation which required endurance in your day-to-day life?
I've used like endurance has helped me, but it's not like I haven't gotten like these
Challenging
really
situation.
strong challenges.
Yes.
Where I've used endurance is during football training.
Okay. You
Yeah,
play
'cause it's-
football?
Yes, I do.
Very good.
'Cause it's, you know, like when you see someone playing football on the pitch, you can be like, that's very easy.
Okay.
But during training, like they put in a lot of work. Like you run and run until you're tired, but then your coach is like, continue running.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I had to push myself. Like I had to go out of my comfort zone because when you stay in your comfort zone, you don't really accomplish much.
What inspired you to love football?
Football, what inspired me to love football is the first thing is Cristiano, Ronaldo. And then what keeps me like motivated is my 2 friends at school that I see daily who keep on, like we have the same goals.
Okay.
So they be like, whenever you don't train, there's someone out there who's training for the same sport as you.
Wow.
So it keeps me motivated.
So you want to be a professional footballer?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Playing for which team?
My dream team is Real Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we should go back and try out and participate in a tryout.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you deserve to be in academy. I'll talk to mommy about it. So one bootcamp.
Bootcamp. Bootcamp taught me to be like very respectful.
Oh, wow.
Because, you know, for young children, okay, like when you're still young,
Yeah.
when a grown up talks to you,
Yeah.
you can like just reply anyhow,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
how you want.
Yeah.
So for you, you might feel like you don't understand.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't blame you because you haven't learned it yet.
Okay.
But after bootcamp, I actually learned that you have to give everyone respect.
Oh, yes.
Even someone who's younger than you. Let's say, even if they are poor,
Oh,
even if they are like, even the cleaners
Oh, yes.
themselves, you have to give everyone respect.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because what you give off
Yeah, yeah.
is what you receive.
Oh, great. I'm so proud of you. Now, the last time I went with you to Spain and Europe, how was the experience there?
My experience, actually going to Spain has helped me see the bigger picture, because before I went to Spain, the only countries I'd been to are England and Northern Ireland.
Okay.
But when I went to Spain, because that's where like, okay, Spain is known for like art and all that, and then football. So when I went to Spain, it actually helped me like want to become a better footballer, and then also it helped me want to learn Spanish, though I learned for some time, but I've recently just started learning it again.
Yes. So you're teaching yourself?
Yes.
Great, man. I'm so proud of you.
And then also another thing I learned is, okay, like I learned that I have to be open-minded. Like the area I'm in doesn't like, okay, that's not where life stops.
Okay.
If you're in Uganda, it doesn't mean that that's where life stops.
Oh.
You have to know everything around you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, great. So, now that you're grown up, tell me, when last I know, of course, you lost your father.
Yes.
Yes. How was that experience? 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago.
No, it was last year.
Last year.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So, the day my dad died, I remember we had gone for, okay, I was with my auntie at Acacia Mall. We had gone for like a school trip. She has a school. So she included me. So we went. The day before that, I was going to her place, and then I kept on like my heart was like very low. Like I wasn't in that mode of being happy and all that. And then I was wondering what's wrong.
What was wrong?
And then I kept on like having that urge to call my dad, but then I was like, I don't have airtime, and I don't want to call him with little airtime, and then it gets done and all that, because he'll still want to talk to me and all that. So then I was like, let me just leave it.
But the whole day you were low.
Yeah, I was very low. Then at night, I think it was midnight, that urge to call him came back again, and I was like, I'll call him in the morning. So in the morning, around that same time he passed away, I was not happy. Like
You felt your life is not happy, but you didn't know what was happening.
I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
At around 5 or 4, it was time to go back home. But then my auntie came and she was like, your mom has asked me to talk to you. Because I remember after, I don't remember what I did, but I wasn't in good terms with my mom. So I was like, now what have I done? So I saw her, like, the way she was talking, it was like she's talking, she's not talking, she wants to cry. But then, as we were walking, she was like, I don't think I should tell you this in public, let's first reach the car. So then, as we were walking to the car, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I saw like, I think it's called deja vu. So I saw as if my dad was like on the bed, like not responding and all that. And then I saw like as if my auntie was telling me something about my dad. So we reached the car and she told me everything. At first I didn't cry for like 3 minutes because I was still in shock. I was like, this is exactly what I was saying before I reached the car. So then after the 3 minutes, then I started crying and all that. But then I stopped. I first like stopped thinking about it. Then I went back to my uncle's place where I was staying. So I reached and everyone was like, sorry for your loss, what? Then he was like, go to your room, dress up, we go to daddy's house. So I went to my room. So, sorry. When I reached my room, I first sat down and I like started thinking and I was like, yesterday daddy was fine, he was alive and all that. So then I started crying again, like I was so hurt. Then I was like, okay, then I started remembering how people used to say that I walk like him and all that. So then I was like, let me put on this shirt that he gave me. So I put it on, like I dressed like how he usually dresses up. And then we went. So when we reached the place, they had put him in the middle of the sitting room. Yes. And then when people saw me, they started crying again and they were like, sorry. And they were like, come
because
and
you
see.
resemble him.
Yes, then they were like, come and see him. But then when I saw the coffin, I was like, I can't go there right now. Then I first went to my grandmother's room. So, because she was seated, she was also somehow crying. So when I reached, I was like, let me make her laugh. So I reached, I gave her like a conversation, we laughed and all that. Then after some time, I was like, now let me go and see my dad. So when I reached there, they opened like that top part. And when I looked at him, it was like as if he's smiling. Then when I looked at him, then I cried again. And then I was like, okay, I couldn't believe. And then it seemed like everything would be fine. But then when they called us to give a speech, I don't know what happened. I couldn't even talk. Then I said a few words, and then I went back to where I was seated. Then I was fine again. When it came to like that time of seeing him for the last time, I came. But that time I didn't cry. I just prayed. Because I was like, in my head, I was like, Jesus has never prayed for people and they come back. Let me first pray for him. So I was actually even scared to touch him. But then I was like, let me touch him and I see if he'll wake up. So I touched his chest and I prayed, hoping that he would come back, but he didn't. So then I just went back to where I was seated. Then I think it was 4. They were like, it's time to put him like in the
final rest.
Yes.
Excellent.
So
I want to ask you, when you knew that your dad had died, what's the most fondest memory of you that you have about him? Something that you remember that is so strong, that is so good about him.
I think it's that time whereby like we were too tight. Okay, like those times when my mom would go like abroad for work, and I'll be home with daddy.
Okay.
So we'd have like crazy moments, because I remember there's a time he asked me what I wanted, and I told him I want a Mentee sticker.
Yeah.
Like those big ones. So he went to work and came back with with one that's not Mentee but Spider-Man. So then I looked at it and I was like, "Hey, daddy." Like I was speaking Logan, and I was like, "Hey, daddy, Singa, you brought Spider-Man." Then he was like, me next time I want to buy it for you, and if you don't appreciate it. And I was like, okay, let me take it. So like he'd buy me like very many toys, like trains and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the strongest memory I have of him is he bought me a remote control helicopter.
Yeah.
So one day we were flying it, and then I wanted to land it because I wanted to go eat. Then he was like, you bring and I help you land it. You don't know me, I know. Then I was like, but daddy, you don't know. Then he was like, you bring and I show you. So I gave him the remote, and then I looked at it coming down. Then I was like, daddy, slow down. It doesn't have to go like this. It has to come like this. Then he was like, I know what I'm doing. So there was a pile of like, I think they were leaves. It was very big. So the helicopter came and hit the leaves, the pile of leaves. And then one of the propellers broke. So after it breaking, I was like, Dad, you spilled my helicopter. I want another one. Then he was like, you're the one who spilled the remote. I was young. I also didn't know. Then I was like, okay, Daddy, I'm sorry, what? But when I grew up, he was like, I'm the one who spilled it.
Yes, that is not make mistakes. All of you watching, that is don't make mistakes. Yeah. So that was a nice memory. One last memory of him.
Okay, so another memory is, I remember there's a time. Okay, like we had two houses at home.
Oh yeah.
So there's a time he was staying in it was painted white, so we call it the White House. And then we have this other one, we call it Elvit. So there was a big distance between those two. So I was at Elvit, he was at the White House. So then I wanted to go and sleep with him. So after that, I came outside to the gate. Like there's a big pitch here. And it was like very dark. The security lights out there weren't working that day. So then I came and I was like, I shouted, Daddy. Then he said, he used to call me Papa. Then I was like, Papa. Then I was like, Daddy, I want to come and sleep with you. Then he said, okay, you come. Then in my head, I was like, I'm 12 years old and you're telling me to pass here. It's dark.
Dark place, yes.
Yeah, and then I remember there were some village kids who came and started telling us we have ghosts at our home. So I was very scared. Then he kept on shouting, come. Then I was like, Daddy, I'm scared. Then he was like, you're a man, you come. Then I was like, Daddy, what if the ghost gets me? Then he was like, those things don't exist, you come. Then I was like, Daddy, I'm scared. Then he was like, if you want, you come. I've left the door open. And I came running. Then I reached the house. So I entered and closed the door. He was in his bed. So then I reached him and I stood here and I looked at him. Then I told him that you have bad manners. Me, I'm not going to talk to you again. Then he said, it's fine. So a few moments later, like 3 minutes, I got hungry. Then I was like, Daddy, I'm hungry. Then he said, yeah, I thought you're not talking to me. Then he was like, you sleep. You don't want to talk to me. Then I was like, Daddy, I'm sorry. So then he started teasing me. Then until I was like, okay, now I'm not your friend. Then he said, Then he gave me food and yeah.
Great. I mean, it's you see how important it is to have a father whenever you have a chance to stay with him.
Yes.
Well, for me, my father died when actually I was way younger than you were. Yeah. So when you lose a parent, life seems like it has come to an end. Yet it is just beginning.
True.
It's just beginning. So, if I may ask you, what do you miss about it?
Okay, what I miss about him, like, there are very many things, but I think two of the things that stand out most are, like, he used to care, like, he used to love us, like, a lot. Like, if it's time to sleep, okay, like, you know, that moment when a parent is telling you, I love you, and all that, for him, all that time, he would say, I love you, then you say, I love you to daddy, then he's like, never forget that.
Oh.
Like, all the time, even in the morning, he'd be like, good morning, daddy. Then he's like, good morning. Then he says, I love you. Then you're like, I love you too. Never forget that.
Right.
So that's one thing I miss about him. Then the other thing I miss about him is his sarcasm. Like, he was so sarcastic. Yeah.
What does it mean?
Okay. So I remember a scenario. I think I was 8 or 9. So they told me to take food for him. So as I entered the house, I saw him in one of the corridors. So I went with the plate to him. And I was like, Daddy, I've brought your food. Where should I put it? Then he looked at me like with this eye of, seriously, is that the question you're asking me? Then he said, so across the room, there was like the washroom. Then he was like, take it to the washroom. So I also started going.
You started going to the washroom.
Then he was like, I was like, what's wrong with you? Take it to the dining table. So then I took it. Then another time, I remember he asked me for water. Like, he used to send me a lot. So I went to the fridge. I got the glass of water. I got the glass, I poured water. So I took it to him and I was like, Daddy, I've brought your water. Where should I put it? And yet there was a table down there. So he was like, pour the water on me. He was like, pour the water. So I first looked at him like this, because when he's with other guys, he's very serious. So I'm like, what if he's serious? So I was like, should I pour it on you? So I started raising my hand and I was like, I'll the water here. Then I put it there. Yeah.
Interesting.
It was very sarcastic.
I know. That's beautiful. But she wanted you to think outside the box.
Yes.
Or to do the obvious. I'm so proud of you. Now, life is like that, you know. It doesn't mean that when you grow up with your father every time, you'll have everything well set up. Some people still have their fathers, but life is not complete. Other people lost their fathers way back, but still their life is complete.
Yes.
Other people still have their parents, their fathers intact, yes, but their fathers are not in their lives. Yes. Which one would you prefer? Not to have him? To have him? There's no choice.
Yes.
So if God made this choice for you, we'll live with it. You can still live without your father and make it out of life.
Yes.
And even those can still live with their fathers and make it out of life. But that doesn't mean that they're better than you. Now, when you're at school and you hear people talking about their parents or fathers, what do you feel? How does it make you feel?
Okay, those first few days after he passed away, I remember there's a time in one of the lessons we had, and they were talking about, I think that teacher didn't know. So she came and she was talking about like fathers. Okay, the topic was about family and that and all that. And then it came to like not having a father and all that. So those first days I'd go out of class and like I would cry. But then these days if I hear people talking about their fathers, like obviously I feel sad that I don't have mine. Yeah. But then I'll just be like,
life is like that.
Yeah.
The moment you understand that life is like that, it's what I used to feel as well. Life is like that. Yeah. Life is like that. And let me tell you something that encourages me. I knew for you lost your father, but you stayed with your mom. For me, I lost my father and then my mom. Now, the first one, when I lost my father, I was young. But one day I was crying, and then a teacher told me, I'll never forget that teacher told me, you should be happy because the work of your father in your life had ended early. Sometimes a parent can live because their work in your life has stopped. And when that work stops, at least they stay around, they can even become a distraction to you. So, yeah, I feel that you can be at school and people are talking about your father, but life is like that. God wanted you to grow even more. So how is mommy? I've not seen mommy for a while. How is she?
She's very okay.
She's very okay.
Yes. But I think she's very busy because I try to text her every day, but sometimes she replies either very late or she replies the next day.
Oh yes. She's a busy person.
Yes.
Very good. I'm so proud of her as well. What message are you giving to her?
My mom.
For the tough times that you've gone through with her, with everything that has happened, what message do you want to give her?
I'd say she should like keep that strong heart that she has. She should keep caring for people and supporting them. Because my mom is a person who like cares. Okay, there's caring, and then there's where you like. Okay, I don't want to say overdo it, but like she goes like that extra mile to help some people, and then in return, they do something that's not good.
Okay,
like,
they don't pay her well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she ends
They
up
betray
getting
her.
hurt. Yes.
Okay.
So I would say that she should continue helping people, but then she like shouldn't
Overdo
go
it.
too far.
Okay.
Yes. Because whenever she tells me that she's hurt, okay, like since I'm the firstborn, me in my heart I'd be like, oh, I go for that person.
No,
What
yes.
should I do for them? So whenever she's hurt, I'm also hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because most of the times she tells me like how her day has been, what she's doing, all her businesses, like all the employees that have gone and all that. So yeah.
Okay, great. So mommy has got that message. What about your siblings? What message?
My siblings, like I have 3.
Okay.
So for
I don't know the third one. What was that one? It's the girl?
yes.
Okay.
There's Abra,
Okay.
Ava, and then Ainza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Abra, I'd say he should continue with what he's doing because I'm seeing like his mommy is like putting him in many of the BMP programs.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's actually going to help him a lot.
Okay.
And then for Ava, I'd encourage her to keep that spirit of like helping others and then also not get distracted when she comes to where my brother is studying from.
Okay.
Yeah, and then for our younger sibling, not that one. What I have to say is, okay, most of the times he goes to my mom and he's like, where's Abba? Because this whole year I haven't been at home.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been at school. So at first he would be like, he would go to my mom and tell her that, why did you sell Abba? He thinks they sold me. So he says, why did you sell my brother? Where's Abba? And like, even if my mom explains that I'm at school, he'll still say, The next day he'll come and be like, I want Abba. Where's Abba? You call him. And when he calls me and I talk to him, I'd be like, you come because mommy usually comes and visits us. So I tell him, you come with mommy and see us. And he's like, mommy will leave me. So whenever mommy talks about coming, I'd be like, mommy, make sure you come with the Ainza.
Right.
Yeah.
So are you proud of being that big brother?
Very proud.
Very good. Yeah. So what message are you giving to yourself?
Myself, I should focus on the important things first and keep out the distractions. Then have that spirit of exploring and learning about things that are out of my reach, and then also focusing on God also, because that's very important too.
That's my boy, Abba Jesse Ziwa. He's a very good man. He's now 18 years. I should give you driving lessons starting next month. Look for me.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I should give you driving lessons because now you're going to turn into a man. And the Constitution says that when you're 18, you are a man. Very good. That's our interview for today. Abba is a nice chap. He's a soccer player. I've been with him, and sometimes he dodges me. Yes. Why do you dodge me sometimes? I fear that I'll take you back into the boot camp. Yes. He dodges me sometimes, but he's a good young man. And today we've had a very good discussion about losing a father or a death when you lose a parent. So all boys that are going to watch this program or girls who are going to watch this program, be encouraged. Listen to Abba's story. Do not give up. Do not give up on trying. Keep trying. And even if you lose a parent, life will continue. Life will continue. Life will continue even better. Sometimes it does even better than you are. Thank you very much. I'm called, but you all know my name. Don't they know my name?
Yes, they do.
They know my name. Okay, bye-bye. Abbas, say bye-bye to the people.
It's been a nice time. So this is the end of our program, and I'd like to say, stay out of your comfort zone and be outgoing.
Be outgoing. Asante. Asante sana.